Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. I'm Clay, and today we are taking a look at something special. This is Transformers Legacy Scourge, the Nemesis Prime before his time. That's right, it is Scourge, the first evil Optimus Prime from way back in 2000's Transformers Robots in Disguise, which everybody now just calls Transformers car robots. But we've got some cool artwork on this package. You got Scourge looking cool here. We've got the tanker truck looking cool there. We've got the Legacy logo down here, and it says Robots in Disguise 2000 Universe Scourge. And then if you tip the package this way, you get to see a truck. And if you look at the package this way, you get to see the rest of the robot, which, you know, that I guess there you can kind of see there. It's I don't know. You can't. I guess if I open the panel, you'd be able to see all of them. But there he is. It's actually really cool. But from that view, like I feel like that's, I don't know. Somebody phoned it in, having just the one picture that you get an arm and a leg, and even when I was looking here, it's like I want to see the whole robot on the front. Why can't I see the whole robot? But they didn't want to. They just, some graphic designer did not really think about what this was going to look like once it was folded up. Nonetheless, we've got on this side a nice close-up of the robot picture, which the illustration is beautiful. Like, it is beautiful, and I love that they put in the detail of the matrix in the chest here. So that's really cool. We've got some legal gobbledygook on the bottom corner there, and then you look in the back, and we have product shots with above legal gobbledygook, and there is the robot mode, and there is the tanker truck mode, and then if you go up here, then you can see the base mode with a truck, and so that's cool. All right, so that's the packaging, and here is the guy, and he is in his truck mode, and this is of course just a straight up repaint of Legacy Generation 2 style Optimus Prime, Laser Optimus Prime, which we have right here, and there's Laser Optimus Prime. This is one of my favorite Optimus Primes in recent years. I love this toy. I think that this looks so much better than the other trailers, because for these leader scale Optimus Primes that they've been doing since Earthrise, they've been making kind of a small trailer. You see how the trailer is really no bigger than the vehicle itself. It's a mini trailer. And I feel like in the tanker truck version, it looks a lot better than the previous box trailer. I don't know why, but I just feel like it's integrated much more nicely. And so, of course, when they announced that, which, like, big surprise, we knew that when they did this version of him that we would be getting this toy as well, and because I am a sucker, I will buy the black version of that toy because it's really good. So here he is, and his vehicle mode really does just look great. It's not the reflective chrome, the vacuum metallized chrome of the Robots in Disguise Scourge that we knew and loved. It is, he's got red tinted windows. He's got the teal. He is effectively Nemesis Prime before Nemesis Prime was a thing. I think that Scourge was the inspiration for Nemesis Primes to come, and I will say that in my opinion, Nemesis Prime is a much cooler concept than just calling him Scourge. Like, Scourge to me is a Decepticon thug that just looks like Optimus Prime, whereas Nemesis Prime is like the evil version of Optimus Prime. You know, in he all the power, all the intellect, all the capabilities of Prime, except turned towards badness rather than goodness. And that to me is a much bigger threat than just a Decepticon grunt who happens to look like Optimus Prime. I know he scanned Optimus Prime by accident when he was scanning his vehicle form in the show, and whatever. It was what it was in the show. I don't hate the show the way that I did back when it was actually on TV. I kind of respect it for what it is. But what it wasn't is a really compelling narrative. It had some entertaining moments, but it wasn't a fantastic, a great story. It was okay. It was fun. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. It was fun. So, nonetheless, this is the vehicle mode. There's a lot of fantastic mold detail, and I do like the painted silver on Scourge better than the gray plastic of the of Optimus Prime. The black is always cool. It's just a really nice form. If I zoom in a little. Can I zoom in? Yes, we can zoom in. Then you can really see all the detail that this mold has to offer. You can see the truck mode looks good. There's a little bit of a division here, which you know, you just kind of live with that. You move on. We've got the paint detail on the hood, which is very, very nice. We've got the similar paint details on the side of the hood. We've got the teal around the windows, which is a really nice touch. They didn't have to do that, but they did. They got the teal additions on the back here, and then of course we've got the trailer itself, which has all of this cool stuff happening in it. You know, that this is awesome. And then you see all of the molded in detail there. It's just, yeah, in general, this is a more interesting trailer than the box trailer. And it, even though it was also done on a budget, just like the other trailer, I feel like they did a better job of designing this than they did the other one. So let's set that aside for a moment. What we can do is we can take down, there's this part, it's kind of a little kickstand, and we can just set that aside and it'll hold itself up and get that out of the way. We can look at the figure itself. The truck mode is, of course, very, very nicely done. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorites, like out of Siege, Earthrise, and this version, this is my favorite in recent years of Optimus Prime. Even from before then, you know, Combiner Wars Prime, there was the Titan Returns Primes. They had a couple. You know, even those. Even let's see. After Power of the Primes Prime, which one was that? Oh, that was the one that combined with his trailer. Okay, that was a really good one. I really liked that one, except for the arms around the back of the cab. That was bad. But so yeah, I would say that just in general, in the last 7 waves, this is my favorite mold, and so I'm happy to get this one, which is an evil version of a great mold. So let's go ahead and turn him into a robot, because that's what he does. So we're going to start by unlocking the legs. We just separate those. We can flip the feet out. He's got kind of the claw feet, which is really effective. He's got these gas tanks on his legs, which always fold in. They like, I have to pop them out all the time when it's in truck mode, and so chances are they're already folded in because that's what they do. We can fold up these panels on the sides here, and that kind of frees things up. And then we can straighten out the arms sticking out the back of the cab. And so there we go, and we'll even kind of push them down just a little bit there. And then we can open up the truck cab just like that. And now we're going to rotate the shoulders out. And yeah, they really kind of crammed things in here. His transform is really ambitious, especially considering the lengths that they went to keep using parts that were used on previous versions of Prime to recreate a likeness of a transformer that had a really simple transformation scheme. This is more complex, but they did it, and I'm presuming that they saved money by doing it that way, but wow. So this is going to come out around here. Wait, here, you know what? Before we do that, let's bring the legs down, and I'm gonna adjust the camera up. There we go. Up. We're going to bring the legs down, and then bring this whole pelvis down this way. So now the truck is kind of standing straight up. And now let's go ahead and we're going to try to pull the shoulders out to the sides like that. Unless, oh, they're not gonna. Oh, they're not gonna yet. Okay. I keep wanting to do that, and we're not there yet. Let's fold these little panels out right there. We're going to split the front of the truck like this. We're going to move these out to the sides, out of the way. And then we're going to press here to fold out the whole chest. And you see the chest is actually like you have the upper chest and then the abs are on a hinge. So you take the abdomen, like, you know, his six pack, or, you know, in this case, his grill, and that pops off pretty easily. So we'll snap that right back on. So ideally you just bend that out like that and click it. And now, do we get to do it? Do we get to do it? Yes, now because see, there's these little tabs here that keep it from wanting to move until you have that stuff out of the way. Now you can rotate the shoulders. You see how these rotate around from underneath all of this. And we're going to get the big truck fenders up out of the way. Get these around here. And we're going to take the head. Now we can get the big truck pieces out of the way again and get the head out. And now we can close up the back. We can snap the chest down in front of his abs. Once again, kind of getting the arms and stuff out of the way. We're going to take these side panels up and we're going to close them against the sides of the body, just like that. See, there's a lot of fiddly stuff that happens in here. So now when these up, you can, in earnest, press the whole body up against the back of the truck cab. They'll tab in. Now you can close this down for the last time, rotate the waist. Now you have an Optimus Prime chest, or in this case, a Scourge chest. You can rotate these, kind of go down to cover the shoulders. You can have the inner shoulders in place, just click them. You can put down these tabs, rotate the arms into a reasonable position, and then you open the arms up like this, and then you pull out the fists. So the fists will flip out. The fists will flip out. The fists will flip out. There we go. And unfortunately, unlike earlier Optimus Primes, he just has a molded hand rather than having a jointed fist. So you just kind of have to accept that. It is what it is. You open this up, you get it with your fingernail, you flip out the leg, and there we have that. And now we'll click down the head, and boom! He is Scourge! And he's got the proportions on this figure are excellent. I mean, he looks great. And I have to say that the use of the red and the teal really makes this figure pop when he is in robot mode. I mean, he just looks excellent. Let me move Optimus Prime out of the way. And we'll put up our board so that the camera only wants to focus on one thing here, and that is the glory of Scourge. He looks awesome. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I mean, he is a beautiful figure. And again, yeah, I love all of this red and all of this teal. It's more of a magenta, really. The light piping on his eyes works really well. If I cover that up, notice that the eyes just kind of disappear. But when I move my hand, wow, I mean, his eyes just glow with menacing magenta. If that should be a Crayola color, menacing magenta. If we kind of pull in closer, oh, that's the opposite of pulling in closer. Let's try that again. So if we pull in closer, you can see that they did put in very, very tiny upside down Transformers Generation 2 Autobot signs on his shoulders. I don't know why they're so tiny. I'm guessing because there's a lot of molded in detail on the shoulders, and that was the only flat place. But yeah, they're subtle, but they're there, and of course now you can really see all of the detail that's in there. The colors really make him pop. And here's what I wanted to compare him side by side with Nemesis Prime from the Earthrise spoiler pack. So let's go ahead and pull the camera back just a little bit. And we'll slide him over here. There he is. And let's put actual Nemesis Prime. And honestly, between the two of them, I actually like Scourge better. I think that he just has a more striking, the combination of the deep dark blacks with the teal pops and the magenta, he just looks menacing. He actually kind of looks like he would beat the shit out of this guy. Am I allowed to say that? I probably, beat the Shahoozits out of that guy. So, and this guy's got a snake on his back, and he's got a bird on his sword, and he's got big blaster thingies on his arms. But I just, the aesthetics of Scourge, I think really, really kill it. Like they just really kill it. And nothing against the Earthrise Nemesis Prime, because that's an awesome toy too. But yeah, if we're just going to go by what we see here, I think that this guy really, really does look excellent. He comes with a sword and an axe, which you can store in various places. He's got his sword here, and we'll give him his sword. It's very swordy. And he's got an axe here. It's sort of axey. It is what it is. So he's got that. They're the same, of course, the same weapons that came with Legacy Optimus Prime, just in different colors. That's the way that repaints work. But he looks, again, everything just, it's just cool. He's just cool. So let's go ahead and take a closer look so that you can really appreciate what's going on here. He, of course, there's a lot of black. I'm going to see what happens if I turn on my ring light. Maybe you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can really see the detail that's molded in there. And, of course, it's all the same detail as is in Legacy Optimus Prime, but it just looks really good. he looks really good. This is a neat toy. And notice that he's got painted wheel covers. There's no mushroom pegs showing through there, which is nice. I mean, I'm not a hater on mushroom pegs, but they don't look as good as when you have a covered wheel, especially when the hub is painted. He's got his truck cab on his back, which he always had a truck cab on his back, and a 5mm peg there where you could take stuff. And I don't think that you can stick this. This doesn't have a 5mm peg. I want to go, but you can't. You can't. It doesn't go. It just. Maybe I can. Can I do that? I can do that. Like that. That's not cool. That there's nothing cool about that. But you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So you know, it's your joy. If you think that's cool, then I take back saying that it's not cool, even though it's not cool. Yeah, I kind of want these little holes to fit on his smokestacks, but they don't. So yeah, everything that Legacy Optimus Prime can do, he can do. He just arguably looks cooler and more badass while he does it. So that is his robot mode. Let's go ahead and take a look here at his trailer. So you've got the trailer, and we'll just aim the camera at the trailer. I'm going to turn off the light because it's washing everything out. So there, we'll show the trailer, and it opens up like this, like that, and then you have the sides that open up like this, just like that. And then you've got this part, which you can take the top and go around like that. And then you can kind of take the arm right there and do that. And then you pivot the whole thing down there. Oh, and there's also this little panel here that goes down like that. And so now you have a thing that does that. Last step is to have that thing, and then this thing pivots, and it's like pew 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 pew, and then you can stick his weapons in holes. Or if you have weaponizer guys, you can there's lots of 5mm plugs that you can put stuff in here, and yeah, that's his base mode. It's cool. There's not really any paint apps from this view. They used all of their paint app budget to put silver on the sides here and on the hubcaps here. No paint apps on the insides, which, yeah, it's fine. This is a cool thing, and it just pegs in, so you can actually put it anywhere on here. And yeah, there's a lot of versatility here. But yeah, this is, I feel like this has more going on than the Earthrise trailer. I like this thing, whatever this is, this tower with a robot arm. I think that's really cool. It's a lot of fun, and you can do cool things with it. I think that the trailer has a more interesting base mode. So yeah, you put Scourge here, and you can have him hanging out like in front of his trailer and being like, I'm Scourge, I'm a bad dude, or you can turn around this way so that there's like the ramp thing in the front, and you can still be like, I'm Scourge, I'm bad dude, and then he can do the splits. See, he's doing a split there because yeah, he can. And so yeah, that is him. Of course, in terms of articulation, since we're talking about the splits, let me move this off to the side. You've got the head, which is the joint on the head is a little bit stiff, at least on mine. But he can sort of nod. There's a little bit of a wobble there. He can turn it from side to side. Of course, the movement of the shoulders is limited by the large fenders here. but his arms do move up and down and forward and back. He's got a bicep rotation, an elbow pivot. He's got pivots at his wrists. He's got a waist twist. He's got fully functional hips where, yes, he can do the splits and he can stand up and he can kick and he can run. And there's a thigh twist and there's a knee bend and he's got the ankle tilt. So, you know, he's like a really nicely articulated figure, even with the limitations that are caused by the huge, enormous fenders on the shoulder. Of course, with the original Laser Optimus Prime and likewise with the original Scourge, these fenders moved with the shoulders, which gave you greater range of motion. These just kind of stay where they are, which is fine. You still have a lot of decent playworthiness with the figure, and is he as cool as the original was? Well, you know what, we're not getting that toy again. The bottom line is we're not getting that toy again. The original mold was just chocked full of gimmicks and firing bits and firing missiles and firing discs and stuff like that. It had a ridiculous air-powered missile that was in the tower. But at this price point, this is actually a very, very nice... I can't get zoom in and zoom out correct on this camera. This is actually a really, really nice toy, and I'm a big fan of the mold that it's based off of. I'm a big fan of the concept of Nemesis Prime, and I would say that this is the coolest Nemesis Prime that we've gotten in quite a long time. Even cooler than the very, 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 very cool Earthrise spoiler pack Nemesis Prime that preceded it. And yes, I know Scourge is not Nemesis Prime, but come on, everybody, like you know, like we all know. It's, you say Scourge is not Nemesis Prime, but he's kind of Nemesis Prime. That's okay. It's your toy. You can call him anything you want. He's Scourge. It says so on the box. But he's also Nemesis Prime. So, yeah, that is Scourge. Awesome, awesome toy. If you like evil versions of Optimus Prime, and honestly, we love our good guys represented as bad guys. We're just that kind of a society. We want Spock with a goatee, and this is your goatee version of Optimus Prime, and he looks great. I guess teal is the Autobots version of a goatee. That's what we take away. Teal is the same thing as having. Anyway, so. Yeah, that is my review. Transformers Legacy robots in 2000 robots in disguise. Scourge. Nemesis Prime. He's awesome. I love this toy. I love the way it looks. I love the original mold. I love the Optimus Prime that it was based off of. I love the Laser Optimus Prime that inspired the original. I love the robots in disguise Scourge that was a repaint of that Laser Optimus Prime. It's all good. It's all good. And, sometimes when they redo toys from the past that we really like the original design, the new one isn't as good. I'm talking about you, Cybertron Optimus Prime. Big disappointment. So yeah, this is excellent and awesome. If you have the opportunity and you want an evil Optimus Prime, you will not be disappointed in Scourge because he's just that darn good. So, that being the case, if you like this review, then please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you do, click the notification bell so that you know when we're doing Short Circuits videos like this one. Also, you'll know when we're doing our live streams, which typically happen every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern United States time. Also, we have a Patreon, so if you're in a position to help the channel grow, then consider joining our Patreon. We do have different levels with different rewards as our way of saying thank you so much for your help. We really appreciate all the help that we can get. And with that being said, we do have a very special guest here to thank our patrons. That's right, once again, it is the Chaos Bringer himself, Unicron. Come on out, Unicron, baby!
Thank you, patrons, our ultimate retro heroes. Thank you, Fetch Beer, Robes, Matt White, Starhound, Setsune Wave, Dawn, Hope and Michael D, and Colleen. Thank you. And now I think I'm going to go for a walk. I've been eating a lot lately. I'm a little bit wide around the equator, if you know what I mean, and it's good to get some exercise from time to time. It reduces your energon pressure.
Well, thank you for the unexpected health tips from Chaos Bringer Unicron. So, that's it! I'm Clay, this is Scourge. He's sort of Nemesis Prime. Don't tell anybody he is. This is Scourge, absolutely not Nemesis Prime. Yes, he's Nemesis Prime. And we are both telling you, yes, you, not you, no. Well, okay, yeah, you. Go ahead, no. No, not the ad. No, the video that you're watching. No, the other tab. No, the other tab. How many tabs do you have open? Oh my gosh. Your CPU usage must be through the roof. Anyway, okay, so yes, okay, now all of you to keep it Retrobot. Yeah. And okay, now if you want to close this tab, you just go right ahead. It's all right. I mean, this is the end of the video. It's not going to hurt my numbers. You can go ahead and close it right now. Oh, you didn't? Well, what are you waiting for? I mean, the video's over. We've got the thank you screen on. There's nothing else. Yeah, this video is done. Just done. It's still done.